So now let's get to the actual texture. In the last video we did the icon, right? Or any static picture in the game. You can simply do it like we saw in the last video. Now in this video we're going to modify an actual texture. So first things first, what you got to do is map the texture. In order to do this, you open again Photoshop, and I already loaded the shield. The Havel shield also has two files, so which are needed. So we copied basically the same process all over again. I'm just going to make it easier for me later, and okay, so I'm going to save this as a PDF again, PSD, sorry, layers, there you go. So now the first thing you gotta do is map the texture. In this case it's going to be pretty easy, but for example if you want to modify a chest armor, right, that's going to have a lot of stuff in the DDS, and you won't really figure out what is what. So in this case I'm just going to map this simple structure. So how I do this? You can see that this here looks like something, this is totally different, and this again. So let's see what each of them do. So I'm going to copy this one, right, that's it, copy it, leave it to layer 1, very good. Now I'm going to copy this also, the black dot, I don't know exactly what this is, but okay. For the mapping part you don't really have to be very careful, but for the next part it would be kind of cool if you're thorough, but for the purpose of the demo it doesn't really matter. So duplicate the layers and merge them. Now you can see that I have this file, which are practically layer 1 and 2. So why I did this merge layer is to simply be able to select all the part that is not selected in these two files and copy it from the original, right? So we now have a layer 3, which, right, each layer is individual. Each layer is individual, and you can see it, right? Okay. So now, in order to map it, simply go to blend and put a color. This one, let's say it's going to be, I don't want red, let's let it be green, right? This one, let it be another color, whatever you like, doesn't matter. And the third color, I'm going to make this, so I have, let's do it, yeah. Okay, so I have it something like this. I can save this as layers, and I'm good for mapping. Okay, now I'm going to flatten the image, right, and replace the files of the shield, right? File new, I need to, one of the files is smaller than the other one. They're usually at half, so I'm just gonna make it half, right? So this is the first, flatten the image, save it, first file is done. Now I need to open the second one, which is going to be 607, let's see if it's this one, yes it's this one, and we're going to copy this into this one. Okay, that's all. Flatten the image first, very important, and then save. Right. Okay, so I've modified the files, I'm done with Photoshop. to have a shield and copy. I don't need this file. Okay, and copy the file we just modified in the override folder. Okay, and launch the game again. Now we see the actual texture of the shield modified. Why it's good to map? Because from some DDSs you won't actually be able to understand what those parts I've selected are. In the case of the shield it's very easy, but when you go to chests it's really hard. You're going to have a hard time identifying each piece, what it does. So that's why you map. Continue. And now we can see by colors. So what's mapped with red? You see they're the actual chains. What's green is the front of the shield. What's cyan is the back of the shield. So all you have to do now, you can quit the game, right? So it's going to be easy for you. You will go to the layers, simply in the history tab go back, right? So we know that the cyan was the back of the shield, the red was the chains, and the green was the front of the shield, right? So now you have this texture mapped out. You can do whatever you want. In my case, so in the mod I made, the Molten Knight, you will see that I made the old shield black and the chains red. That's it. That's all you have to do for mapping.